Right, just kindly stay on with me. We're just getting in some breaking news that according to Axios, Israeli officials have stated that they will soon launch, quote unquote, a significant retaliation against Iran for the large-scale bombardment of ballistic missile attack, with targets to likely include the Iranian oil industry, air defense systems, and other strategic sites across Iran, as well as the possibility of the assassination strikes against key Iranian figures. So a big declaration there coming in from the Iranian government officials, further stating that if Iran decides to respond to Israel's retaliatory strikes, then all options will be on the table, including the destruction of Iranian nuclear sites. So, Adele, that's the big news coming in from the retaliation that Israel is preparing. And they've also said that all options are now on the table. They're going all out there and have send out this warning to Iran as well. What do you make of tensions in Israel as, among the people against Benjamin Netanyahu as well? There has been also some anger, resentment towards the ways of Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu. And what do you make of, the strategy ahead for Israel?
I think that this is absolutely unprecedented in terms of Benjamin Netanyahu's leadership of Israel. And I have to say, I don't know that he's going to be able to continue serving according to the division that has happened in the country. What's happening in Iran, what's happening in the US, just in general, the world has never seen this before, and it's very scary. The bad part about it is, well, what I hope happens is that civilians are left out of this. Civilians are the first casualty of these sorts of incidents, and
but they
I
often bear the brunt of, the kind of attacks one is getting to see. Unfortunately, they're the ones who suffer the consequences.
Absolutely, and I do believe that. From what I'm seeing, at least, and I'm not sure, I'd love to know if you agree, what you think about this as well. There seems to be an intent to continue raising the bar here and continue to push forward. And I do agree there has to be a more strategic element in place. I have to say, though, I think that if there was a different type of leadership coming out of the United States, I don't know that these wars that we're currently experiencing on a global scale would be as intense as they are right now. I just happen to feel that there's something about a more, let's say, they want to call it hawkish, whatever it is, a more diplomatic, a strong type of leadership coming from America that it would cause other allies throughout the world to also be respectful of boundaries and to want to de-escalate. And I think that's part of the issue here. I know that November's right around the corner, but unfortunately, the people who are caught in the middle don't have until November to wait. So I do unfortunately see a intense escalation. I do see Israel amplifying its efforts there, and I do see Iran responding again with an even more grave attack through its proxies, not necessarily directly this time around, but I think that their proxies are plentiful.
Just on that point, I want to take that question to Lev. Lev, as Ariel was rightly saying, Israel is also preparing for a big hit. It's preparing for a stronger retaliation. It's amplifying its efforts. But then at what cost? Because we were talking about the kind of damage, the kind of, the destruction that it is causing as well. We've just heard of this big, massive retaliation that they're planning with specific targets on the radar. How do you foresee the situation unfolding in the days to come?
Look, I think we should listen less to declarations. I believe that once the Americans help you big time, you need to be attentive to what they suggest. This is these are the rules of the game. I'm not saying we have to be obedient as Israelis. We are independent country. But if we acknowledge that Americans helped us twice, in big time, also Jordanians, also other countries, it means that we won't do something that will really harm American interests. So again, we have to retaliate, and we have to show Iran's proxies that they're alone. They cannot really bank on Iran. This is the big paradigm of Israel. Not to have solidarity between Iran, West Bank, Gaza, Lebanon, Yemen, and so on, but to fight each and every enemy alone. But I do believe that we have back channels with the Americans, with Jordanians, and we will try to be a responsible country.
Indeed. So clearly, Iran's retaliatory missile strikes has escalated tensions with Israel.